Hello friends, in today's video I'm sharing with you a meal that's been on my bucket list for a long time, Enfrijoladas. I'm excited to make this dish because not only is it comfort food, but it's also one of the cheapest meals out there. You probably already have most of the ingredients in your pantry. This meal can be made for just a couple bucks, but you can also dress it up with different toppings. In this video, I'll show you how to eat it both ways. This meal is naturally gluten-free, and you can make it vegetarian or vegan by adjusting the toppings. To start with, I'll be using pinto beans, and I got mine at Sam's Club. I'll start by soaking my beans. Sometimes if I forget to start soaking them the night before, I'll just put them in water first thing in the morning and let them sit for a few hours before I start cooking them. This recipe calls for guajillo chilies. I'll be using dried, but you can use the powder form. I'm just going to cut the ends off, remove the seeds, and throw it in my pot of beans. By the time the beans are done, they'll be tender. You can also use New Mexico chilies or New Mexico chili powder in place of the guajillo chilies, but they do have slightly less heat and smokiness than the guajillo chili. You can also use ground ancho chili powder as a substitute, but I don't recommend purchasing it in the regular spice section from American suppliers because it's very expensive. Typically, these are much less in the ethnic food aisles or in a Hispanic market. What I like about this meal is that it's super cheap. You can make the enfrijoladas with just beans, either pinto or black, and you can make it with cheese or you can make it with just beans. I also like that you can dress them up with a variety of toppings. I picked up the cilantro, onion, jalapeno, and tomatillos for less than $2. I roasted my veggies to make a tomatillo sauce for the top of my enfrijoladas. I basically just roast them until I'm done, and I don't use the regular oven anymore. I use a toaster oven, but I find that they use a lot less electricity, and I just never need to use my regular oven anymore. You could also make it on top of the stove, or even in a pan on top of a wood stove would work. If energy costs where you live are high, you might want to try this without roasting the veggies. Once my tomatillos and other veggies are roasted, I will throw them into my food processor, and I'll add some garlic, chopped cilantro, a squeeze of lime, and some salt. I love salsa verde, and it can be used in so many different things. I like just dipping chips in it. I like it in my chilaquiles, and definitely huevos rancheros. One of my viewers the other day was telling me that she likes to add it to her whole beans. I definitely think acidity is important whenever you're eating something that is as heavy as beans. So if you decide that you don't want to do the salsa verde, you could always do a red tomato based salsa or a pico de gallo, which basically just finely chopped tomatoes, cilantro, onions, and a hot pepper. I prefer jalapeno in mine, which is a little bit milder than a serrano. I love cilantro lime rice, and I don't always make it as often as I would like to, but it is super delicious, and I already had everything I needed, so I thought I might as well go ahead and make it. Traditionally, they pour the bean mixture into a hot oil. I'm not quite sure why they're doing that here. I know that the reason why they do it with the enchilada sauce, but I'm actually not sure here because our beans are already seasoned and cooked. So it's not like we need to plume the spices or anything like that. So I kind of think that this is just an unnecessary step. I think I'll probably end up skipping the oil part next time. I did want to make it the right way the first time, and just like you make authentic enchiladas, you dip the shells into the bean mixture and then place it on the plate. But that's just a matter of preference. This was so good. I loved it. It is mildly spicy, less spicy I would say than enchiladas, and it kind of almost melts in your mouth when you eat it. For any of my viewers that have swallowing problems, this is probably a meal that you would be able to eat because it's nice and soft in texture. If you're on a budget and you are getting sick and tired of beans and rice and beans, this is a recipe you need to have because it elevates it so much. And adding that salsa verde on there was just perfect. I went ahead and added a little bit of queso fresco on there just to see what it would taste like. And I actually didn't think it added a lot, so I won't be using that as a topping. But here I am trying a version that includes cheese and onions, and for that I'll be using diced onions, queso fresco, and I had some cheese in the fridge left over that had cheddar and mozzarella, so I'll be using a little bit of that along with some cilantro, and then I'm just gonna mix all of the ingredients together and roll my enfrijoladas. These tasted similar to cheese enchiladas, but not quite. Definitely different with the bean sauce. I actually think I like the first version a little bit better. I love this recipe, and especially how it incorporates 3 inexpensive ingredients like rice, beans, and tortillas to make so many interesting and delicious variations by just changing up the toppings. Thanks so much for watching my video, friends. I'll see you next week.
Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna